The movie begins in a dungeon where the leprechaun himself wonders which poor soul will come here to steal his gold and instead free his soul. In the meantime, two friends named Mac and Slug hunt for a room full of gold. However, what they find disappoints them, and both of them get into a fight while blaming each other for wasting their time. Their fight ends up in Mac pushing Slug against the wall, which causes the wall to break and a secret room reveals itself. Inside the room sits a weird green statue holding a bucket of pure gold, so Mac and Slug finally get happy and take it all for themselves. However, Slug gets too greedy and takes the green statue's only necklace, which causes the statue to awaken itself. The awakened statue, Leprechaun, then kills Slug, so Mac brings out his gun, but it's no use, as the leprechaun easily disarms him every time. But then a sudden event helps in Mac's favor, and the necklace that Slug stole earlier falls on top of the leprechaun, turning it into a statue once again. So, Mac easily brings all of the gold back to the city and sells all of it to become filthy rich. Time passes quickly, and a new rapper named Postmaster rises, eager to win the next hip-hop contest. However, Post's luck runs out as his group's entire music equipment breaks while auditioning, and they get kicked out of the contest before it even begins. Still, Post remains determined to come back, but to do so, he needs a lot of money to fix his equipment first. So, he goes with his crew to a pawn shop to try to sell a fake guitar, but the shop owner sees through them and kicks them out. Post and his friends try again to sell their fake guitar to another pawn shop, but the result remains the same, and they get kicked out again. While the group is wondering what they should do now, they see Mac in the distance. Stray explains that Mac was broke just like them, but one day everything changed. Post decides to seek help from Mr. Filthy Rich Mac and persuades him to give them a chance, claiming that they are good rappers. So Mac takes Post and his gang to his house and listens to their songs. Mac likes Post's rapping style, but he doesn't like what they are rapping about, so he thinks they need to make a change and that they should rap like gangsters from now on. While Post and Stray discuss what they should do, Butch finds the leprechaun statue sitting right in the corner of the room and goes to touch it. Mac stops him in time and tells them that they need to go. Stray thinks that they deserve a chance and fights for it, so Mac forces these three losers to get out of this mansion. Later at the crib, Butch mentions that he has seen a necklace hanging on the statue, which he thinks costs a lot since Mac didn't even let them touch it. So he comes up with a plan to steal the necklace so that they can buy their equipment by selling it. Stray agrees and tells the boys that they should just break into Mac's house. But Post wants to be high and mighty and doesn't want to steal, so he walks away while Stray and Butch decide to do this themselves. Before the two start the robbery, Post decides to join them, as apes together are strong. Afterwards, when the time is right and Mac is out partying, the three losers break into Mac's house looking for the statue. While Butch tries to unlock the statue's box with a bomb, Post finds a gun, and Stray finds a suitcase full of gold jewelry. Mac arrives just in time to discover the thieves, so Post hesitantly shoots Mac in the heart as the bomb explodes. With Mac killed, Post steals the flute in his hands and many other jewelries, including the statue's necklace. However, by doing so, the leprechaun is once again awakened and calls the three losers greedy fools. Post and the gang get freaked out by seeing a talking statue and immediately shoot at the leprechaun, causing it to collapse. Then, they rush to their car and leave. On the other hand, Mac wakes up, revealing he didn't actually get shot to death, as the bullet only hit his gold bracelet. However, it's highly unlikely that Mac will live as long as the leprechaun finds him. But the leprechaun lets Mac escape as it wants to play with its prey first. Mac goes straight to a bar and decides to smoke to loosen the tension. The leprechaun finds its way to Mac and asks him if he can smoke that too. Mac thinks he can maybe make Leprechaun his friend, but Leprechaun is just luring him into his trap and brutally ripping off his finger that holds a gold ring. Leprechaun lets Mac run away once again and then decides to play with the bartender for now and kills him by electrocuting him. On the other hand, while Stray is selling all the gold for his music gear, Post curiously plays the flute, which entices everyone for a moment. This phenomenon happens again as Post plays the flute at another shop. Conveniently enough, Mac finds the necklace that can seal the leprechaun. Speaking of the leprechaun, he finds his next victim, who bought the gold from Stray earlier. It plays games with him disguised as a hot woman and then kills him. Stray holds a party with the money they got from stealing, but Post finds it morally wrong. Mac arrives there to kill the three losers for revenge and tells Post to give back his flute. The three rappers, with no other way, jump off the roof and escape the place. Post wonders why Mac wants this flute and realizes that it might have a bigger purpose. Meanwhile, Leprechaun continues his hunting and kills the second buyer that Post earlier went to sell the gold to. The Leprechaun finds the gay friend's house where the rappers are staying at night and kills him too. Post realizes that the Leprechaun is here, so he and the group come up with a plan to neutralize it. They make their own weapon and lure the Leprechaun into their trap, causing it to burn in the fire. While suffering, the three rappers escape and go to Post's grandma's house to stay there for the night. There, Post experiments with the flute and figures out that it can manipulate the listeners' minds. The next day, Stray calls a priest begging him for a sanctuary for one day. In exchange, the priest makes the rappers sing about praising God for the daily church session. However, the rappers mess up badly by cursing the Lord's name and disgusting the audience. Seeing the situation getting out of hand, Post resorts to mind control and uses the flute to make the audience go back to their seats. So, with everyone brainwashed, Post Gangsta raps about God and how God loves every human. After their successful rap, Stray understands why Mac is coming after them, as he realizes this flute is basically makes them Charles Xavier from X-Men. Post proposes to use the flute to win the rapping contest and live their dream of being successful rappers. Mac reaches the rappers' hideout, so they go to hide in the attic. But the leprechaun finds its way to them first, so they have no other option but to run from it. But before they can escape, they are confronted by Mac, who asks them to give his flute back. Post lies, claiming that he doesn't have the flute on him, but Mac knows he is lying and threatens to shoot with his gun. Right then, the leprechaun appears behind Mac and blows up Mac's lackey's guts. So Mac quickly runs away from there, and the three rappers hide inside a room alongside the priest. Before the leprechaun breaks into the room, Post comes up with an idea to save themselves and tricks the leprechaun into getting locked into a locker. After successfully locking away the leprechaun, the three rappers decide to head straight for the rap contest. Before auditioning, Post brainwashes the judges of the contest and then begins to rap with the crew. Because of that, the judges no longer find their rapping to be lackluster and approve their entry into the contest. On the other side, a hot woman approaches the priest, who actually reveals himself to be a sinful man and tries to take advantage of her. So, he is well punished by the leprechaun and killed in a brutal way. In the meantime, the three rappers rap in a show and entertain the audience, or, in other words, entertain themselves only, as all of them are already brainwashed by the flute. Because of their amazing show, the big judge encourages the three to join the rapping contest's finals, and they believe they are going to Vegas. So, they begin to dance, but it's too soon to celebrate as the leprechaun comes there, asking for the flute. The leprechaun even forces Stray to hold his gun on Butch's head, so Post has no other choice but to give the leprechaun the flute. Because of that, Leprechaun spares the three rappers their life. But Post tries to attack Leprechaun from behind, so Leprechaun realizes that they do need to be punished and makes Stray kill himself. Later, Post and Butch grieve for Stray, and Post decides to take revenge on the leprechaun. Meanwhile, the leprechaun enjoys his long-awaited freedom and summons a beautiful girl to make it more enjoyable. But it seems he is not done with his revenge, as he goes to Post's blind grandma's house to kill her this time. Post's grandma, being blind, lets him in and feeds him some food, but because she is blind, she actually pokes one of her eyes out, and that makes him kill her. Thanks to God, all that was Post's nightmare, and he wakes up hearing a knock on the door. Behind the door stands Butch, who comes up with a plan to take revenge on the leprechaun for killing their friend. Butch reveals that he has been studying about the leprechaun for the past few days and claims to have found its weakness: weed. However, it's no normal weed and is actually filled with four-leaved clovers that supposedly terminate all of its powers temporarily. Butch also reveals that he has heard of rumors of the leprechaun getting his way with people in a hotel room. So, the two rappers disguise themselves like they want it badly and dress up as women. With the plan all set, their only worry is Mac. So, Post is ready to end him as well and secretly carries a gun to do so. Their plan commences, and they enter the hotel bar where the leprechaun's girl lackeys are hanging out together. Post and Butch find their way to them and make them reveal the leprechaun's location. So they go there, finding the leprechaun taking a peaceful nap. Butch wakes him up and offers him both weed and the body Post. The leprechaun takes one smoke of the weed and proceeds to get his way with Post. But before they kiss, the leprechaun falls unconscious, so Post easily steals his necklace. But on their way out, Mac finds his way to them and kills Butch. So, Post musters his courage for an all-out war. Mac tells Post that he is making a mistake, as Mac claims to be the only one to know the solution to sealing down the leprechaun. Still, Post shoots him to take revenge on his friend. Leprechaun comes there just in time, but before he can kill Post, Mac comes there, revealing that he is not dead just yet, and does one last attack on Leprechaun. So, the leprechaun literally blows him up, and very conveniently, the recoil causes the necklace in Mac's hands to land on the leprechaun's neck, turning it into a statue once again. After this horrifying yet exciting incident, Post becomes a successful rapper and makes it to the top of Hollywood.
Thank you for watching. It may be easy for you to like and subscribe, but it means the world to us. Please subscribe for more movie recaps.